Hello. I'm just letting the song play for a bit before we start this up. I just want to be sure we get some people in here, so I hope you guys don't mind waiting for a minute. You can just talk to yourselves and you can let the music play. Hello, Miller. Hello, Methless. I hope you guys are having a good morning today. You got two what? Yeah, I noticed. I don't know what's going on with the live streaming today. Like, when I went to search for my stream, it just didn't pop up. It's popping up now, but it was just not popping up earlier. Now we got 3 people in. I think there was like a problem with YouTube. It didn't send out the stream to some people. And when I first started streaming, it didn't even say I was live. So I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming it's just a YouTube glitch. At this point, I've gotten used to YouTube glitches just happening out of nowhere. Yeah, here comes the people. Okay, so we're gonna start this up in a second. I hope you guys are ready for this. Whew. We're gonna be reviewing Sonichu issue 1 today. And as you can see, I got my abomination back on the screen, my original OC, Do Not Steal. And we are ready to do this today. So let's minimize all of this and get started with the review. First thing we're going to look at is the cover to the comic. And the cover shows you the quality of work we're still dealing with. You can see that the marker lines are extremely uneven and very patchy. You can see that this kind of ruins the twist to the story. It reveals that Sonichu is getting a clone of himself made, so kind of a spoiler right there. But I guess that's typical for Chris Chan, just spoiling everything. We see yet again this disclaimer, and we all know that Chris Chan can't copyright any of this, so this disclaimer is useless. And we see that this episode is called Episode 4, Black Sonichu in Darkness, Speed, and Lightning with an accidental dose of cherry cola. So it's revealed that in the last fight, the Zapdos ended up getting some strands of Sonichu's hair, and then Giovanni from Pokemon, the leader of Team Rocket, teams up with Dr. Robotnik to make a clone of Sonichu. And Chris Chan doesn't understand how DNA works, so he thinks just having hair is enough to clone a whole species. And apparently he also doesn't understand DNA because some cherry cola, just cherry cola, not cherry coke, it just says wild cherry cola, so I have no idea what brand that is. It just gets spilled on the DNA, and the idiot Bill puts the DNA in the machine anyway. Which you think some monster cola thing would pop out, but no. It's just Shadow the Hedgehog. Well, Shadow the Sonichu Hedgehog. They wonder why he's black. And he's black purely by their own incompetence. No one's to blame but them. And they decide to roll with it and just say that he's a Sonichu, he's dark and powerful, which they don't know if he's powerful. They don't know if he's gonna pop out of that tube screaming like a retard because they messed him up with cherry cola. You have no way to prove this. Also, how do you brainwash something? I don't get the logic of this at all. I really don't. I just don't get this. We see that Giovanni and Robotnik are still planning to take down Sonichu. Nothing really special, just generic villain talk. And then they end up draining the tube, and Black Sonichu is revealed. And yes, he is black. Way to be a racist, Natesurk. They decided to call him Black Sonichu because originality is something that this comic lacks. And being able to talk immediately as he's born, he says that's fine with me. But let's just shorten it to Black Chew. Deal? Terrible name. Terrible nickname. I will always say that. He ends up revealing that he is Black Chew's master, and that Giovanni is also his master, and Dr. Robotnik helped make him. And of course, they gotta give him some knockoff Shadow the Hedgehog boots, because what is originality? Black Chew then asked if he's cloned from Sonichu's DNA. Wouldn't that make Sonichu his father? And Giovanni tells him don't respect him, hate him, you need to conquer him, generic villain stuff. One thing I want to note about Black Sonichu's design, in Shadow the Hedgehog, they actually designed him to have black fur on his arms. It makes him look tough, makes him look menacing and edgy. This guy has cream arms, so he looks like a weird abomination hybrid of Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog, and it deeply bothers me. We then see Dr. Robotnik gives Giovanni a stat sheet, and it turns out the stat sheet is from Kel, who took Sonichu and Rosachu to Professor Oak. That's the only time that Kel ever plays a significant role in the actual plot of Sonichu. So congratulations, Kel. You did one thing and it ended up making Robotnik have the plans to both Sonichu and Rosachu's demise. Thank you very much. And Robotnik says that that's Sonichu's girlfriend, which he has no way of finding that out. And then they talk about more evil villainy stuff about how they're going to trap him. And they're laughing like idiots. Now it's time to test their powers. And you can see with the speed test, Black Sonichu runs so fast that this woman's clothes get ripped straight off her body and go onto Natesurk. And Natesurk's hair gets spun to the side, and he knocks over a tree, which conveniently covers up that woman. For the strength test, he ends up punching a wall and completely destroying it, or halfway destroying it. I don't know if he melted it. I don't know if that's melting or if that's breaking. I have no idea. No idea what he did there. Spin dash test, just boring statistics. No one really fucking cares. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Then their new stat sheets are revealed, showing that Sonichu has 3 special attacks, same as Black Chew, 2 special defense, same as Black Chew. They all have the same shit, except for Sonichu has less attack and Black Chew has less defense. So, even though he has less of a defense, they're gonna put him up to fight against someone who has a greater attack. Seems like a stupid plan to me, but whatever. And then we see this stolen pose right here. This is stolen directly from Sonic Adventure 1. This is traced 100%. And then we get a great typo. Inno counter. I get to inno counter my brother Sonichu. Christian, never change. Never bother to read and check for typos. Ever. You're doing great, Chris. You're doing great. We then see, yet again, the same ad for the Sonichu games, which are totally going to happen. And then we go to Episode 5, Sonichu in Informal Meeting. And the E's look like they are blowing up like the Twin Towers, my opinion. We see the map of Quickville, which I have no idea what the fuck is going on here. It's supposed to be an overhead view. Sonic's house is right here, which I don't want to believe that Sonic's world exists in the same world as Quickville, so I'm just going to close out this blasphemy right now. We then see that that map was actually Natesurk's map, and he's showing it to Black Chew, and they're planning to kidnap Rose Chew and lure Sonichu into their trap. Ooh, scary. We then see that Sonic's phone is ringing, which I want to believe it's Rose Chew's phone. Yeah, it's Rose Chew's phone. And the ringtone is For You I Will by Monica. Don't know what the fuck song that is. I don't know what weeb shit Chris is into. I don't fucking know. And Rose Chew answers the phone saying that she'll be home soon to Kel. This is the only time Kel is referenced again. So thank you, Kel, for playing a minor role in this whole story. You keep being extremely helpless. And then we see Sonic meeting up with Sonichu. They are running in the same path, and they are going to collide with each other. You can't really tell this unless you look at whatever the hell's going over here with Christian, and we see that Blatchu is hiding in a bush, stealing that from Knuckles in Sonic 3. We then get another countdown yet again. I don't know why Chris kept doing these. These countdowns aren't helpful. They're just lazy, and they're a terrible way of writing. Blatchu jumps out of the bush, and somehow he's fast enough to snatch Rosechu and go off running without Sonichu or Rosechu noticing at first. And we see that Sonichu and Sonic are gonna crash, just like it was predicted. Sonichu looks like he's really enjoying that crash, because that does not look like he's hurt at all. Sonic looks like he's hurt, though. So, thank you, Chris. Brilliant artwork. We then see that Rosechu says, "Good thing I made like a cat to get the dust out of my eyes." I have no idea what the fuck you're saying. I guess that's a reference somewhere. And then she realizes that's not Sonichu, and he says, "No, I'm not." So yeah, that's how he laughs. I don't know why he thought that this was a good idea. And according to this map, it shows him running not too far away from Sonichu and Sonic, so they really should be able to see them from this far away, but whatever, I guess Sonichu's blind. Sonic and Sonichu realize that they are the same people, and they met each other before when they fought the Perfect Chaos Monster. I'm not even gonna fucking talk about where this takes place in the Sonic timeline at all. And they decide that Rosechu has been kidnapped and that Sonic needs to team up with Sonichu to go save her, and this is just fanfic. Like, it's always fanfic, but this is extra fanfic. Then we get an ad for some totally legit Pokemon cards, and it says, "He's zapping to the extreme. Catch the power of Sonichu in the Pokemon trading card game. EX." Wow, was it that long ago since the EX cards came out? Oh god, I feel old. CWC brings new strategies with over 60 new cards with brand new Pokemon trainers and energy cards. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't get to have these. He keeps them to himself. We then see episode 6 start. Sonic and Sonichu in black metal combat. We see that Rosechu is in a cage, which is supposed to be electric proof or rubber coated, whatever. Who fucking cares? All I know is the bars aren't that big, and she can stick her hand out of it, so she could at least electrocute Robotnik. But I guess no one thought about that. I would at least try to electrocute him, but I guess she's just perfectly fine with being his victim. We then see that Robotnik sings and dances and talks about how he's gonna trap Sonichu, which even Chris says it's really lame. But I'm more concerned about how Eggman's leg is drawn there. Like, his foot is way too big and his leg is way too small. Then his other leg is ginormously fat. So genuinely curious about that. Also, Chris, did you just pop in here? Did you just pop in here out of nowhere? How are you here? Why aren't you trying to stop him if you are here? Yes, we know you idol Sonic and hate Eggman. That's what you're supposed to do. It's the point of the game. It's the point of the franchise. We then see that map yet again, because that map is playing more of a role than the characters are in the story. And then Sonic actually finds a badge with Eggman's face on it. Great, just leave badges with your face on it so everyone knows where you are. And now Sonic knows Eggman is up to this, so he's gonna split up in case things go wrong. And then fucking Nate Zirk says that they came here, they made a black Sonichu, and you need to fight him. And Blatchu's like, "I'm Blatchu," because yeah. And they reveal that that's his clone, which I'd be wondering why he's black, but maybe that's just me. I doubt they'd tell him the cherry cola thing, because that's pretty fucking embarrassing that you're incompetent. And then we see a generic fight scene where Blatchu punches Sonic and his face twists completely to the side. And he calls that a sneak attack even though he punched you from the front. Then Sonichu rams him in the gut, and Blatchu looks like he really fucking liked that. It's really weird. And then we see that he does a Thunderbolt, and I don't know where that Thunderbolt goes. I guess Sonichu dodged it, but they didn't really show that too well. And then Sonichu just kicks him in the face. And then he says, "Getting tired, Blatchu, I'm just getting warmed up." and he doesn't even realize he's standing on a giant X. A giant X. You're standing on it, Sonichu. Are you blind? I think he's actually blind. I think that's part of the plot. That's part of the deep lore. Then Eggman says that's tempered glass. I don't even know what tempered glass is and if it would actually stop it, but whatever. Somehow it's going to drain him of his energy, even though the only thing that's showing electricity are these two things, and I don't even know if those can drain him, but suspension of disbelief for this retarded comic. We then see Sonic show up, and he's gonna fuck things up, but then Eggman's like, no, I made a robot, because robots have stopped Sonic all the other times you've tried this. We then see the robot is doing some wicked dance moves, and he is called Metal Sonichu. And Eggman's really showing his creativity. This Metal Sonichu can shoot electric attacks, and Sonic is just fucking with him. Sonic is just hardcore fucking with him. Possibly ripping off the Sonic X intro, but I don't know if Sonic X was out at this time, and I'm not gonna look it up. We then see it chasing Sonic, and Sonic launching attacks at it, and then Sonichu tells him to bring it over there, and somehow the robot is strong enough to break the dome, and Sonichu is charging up his attack like a Kamehameha. Sonic launches into the attack, and instead of getting extremely electrocuted and killed, he is instead launched forward, creating the Zap Cannonball, which I'm calling the Zappy Cannonball Ha, because that's what it was loaded like. We then see that the fucking Sonichu thing tries to use Defense Curl, which doesn't fucking work. And it gets launched to the moon, which, by the way, if you think he's gonna come back, if you think that's hints that he's gonna come back, he's not gonna come back. Rosachu's easily freed, she says thank you, and then we see that, the Metal Sonichu is on the moon, but we never see from him again, so that's pointless. And Rosachu punches Blatchu in the face, showing that she could defend herself, but she just chose not to. So thank you, Rosachu, for being fucking useless. Then we see Rosachu meet up with Amy Rose, because sexism. And then Chris creates a sexist joke at the end, saying that, pardon me, they're gonna girl talk for a couple hours, and I'd like to save some time and money on car insurance. And then he says switching to Getco instead of Geico, which you could say Geico. You're already infringing on so many copyrights, you might as well infringe on that, Chris. And that was Sonichu issue 1. What did I think of this comic overall? It's just as bad as the previous one. And it's trying to set up some type of overarching lore, and it's trying to set up characters and stuff, but really these characters don't do much later on. The most important character here is Nate Zirk, yet again, who actually does play a big part in the story. Black Sonichu is introduced, but he doesn't do much throughout the whole fucking series, and really, he's just underwhelming. He gets the crap beat out of him by Rosachu, which Rosachu is weaker than Sonichu, and I don't even understand how he could lose in a fight to her. We need to see Rosachu's stats. We didn't even see Rosachu's stats. This whole comic was stupid. There was typos everywhere. The story barely made any sense. Characters were terribly proportioned. It was just bad. It was just bad. But there's no surprise there. It's fucking Sonichu. And now, since we're done with this, we're going to open up the chat, and you guys can start talking again. No, I'm not going to read the comic. I've read the comic a million times. This is a review where I sum up the comic. I sum up what's happening, and I tell you what I thought of it, and I make fun of it. That's just what I do here. I don't read the comic. If you want to see someone read the comic, go watch D-Stex. He reads the whole fucking thing. Sonichu, the comic, was first released in 2005. Yeah, but I don't know when this issue came out. Hello, Karen the Hedgehog? Or Carlin the Hedgehog. So literally everyone is fused with a Pikachu. Yeah, that's the whole gimmick here. Can't wait for Gironichu. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but it terrifies me. I can't wait to see Infinichu. Oh god, terrible. Death seems like a dream. Yeah, it's a dream that's just one blink away. If I give you 50, will you read the comics? If you gave me $50, I would read every fucking comic. I would read them all. I would do a whole reading series if you gave me $50. If you gave me $50 in my PayPal, I would read the whole fucking thing. I'd read every issue for you. Is this not infinite, but is, well, I'm not weak for him. Infinite is the weakest of them all. Bigachu? Oh no. You guys are creating some monstrosities in the chat. Hello. Mr. Cringe Boy, Cringe Man Boy. Great username. We're in the part of the show where we just talk about the comic for 10 minutes, so if you guys have anything you want to say about Sonichu Issue 1 or Sonichu as a whole, just say it. We're going to be on the air for another few minutes. Bigachu wouldn't look different. He really wouldn't. He would just have a Pikachu tail. But that's still a fan character for some reason. So Dillachu is gonna read all of the Sonichu comics. Okay. If someone donated $50 to my PayPal, I would feel obligated to read all the Sonichu comics. I'm not doing any voices, but I'll read the Sonichu comics. I would still do my review separately though, where I just fucking where I just make fun of the comics. I would just do a stream where we read the comics as well. Well, yes, Infinite, I'm not weak for him, said, but is well Shadow. I don't know what you're saying. I literally have no clue what you're saying. I'm so glad I made this abomination for these streams. Fucking Dillachu. Mistake of my life. We got about 8 minutes left. If you guys got anything to say it now. Infinite Chew. Infinite Chew. These are abominations. If I get some fan art of these, that would be really cool. I want to see what Infinite Chew would look like. See, I'm sad that Chris isn't going to be adding in more adaptation characters. Instead, he's just changing all of his characters to be trans. That'd be a good idea. I'm gonna go to class. Bye, Distort. Mariomon versus Sonichu. Mariomon is my original OC. He is a Digimon Mario fused. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Robot Nikachu. Also, I'm a draw Infinite Chew. I want to see that. I can't wait to see that, man. Sonic and Rookie versus Infinite. Zavok versus Munchlack? Oh no, that's terrible. You need to stop. You need to fucking stop. That sounds bad. I hope you guys like this background. I made a mod for Sonic Mania where I can get rid of all the assets. So now I've got a bunch of cool moving backgrounds for the stream, so you don't have to look at a static background anymore. You can see some chemicals mixing up in the background. I hope you guys like that. I got tired of looking at still images. Chris Chu. It's actually Chris-chan Sonichu. Get your lore straight, child. I will fight for the right of the Sonichu lore. We got 4 more minutes left on the clock. I hope you guys have liked this stream. If you got anything, say it now. What? No way. I don't know what you're talking about. Choo Choo from Zelda? Oh no. That's bad. That's a bad thing. You guys are making a lot of original OCs today. I can't wait to see your original character comics. Three minutes left on the clock. Choo Choo Rocket. Sonichu Pokemon Let's Go coming this E3. I can't wait. I can't wait. Instant Switch seller. I can't wait for the Sonichu Switch game. Totally happening. Sonichun Unleashed. Oh no. Be sure to tell me if you like this. If you like these Sonichu reviews, I'll try to make some more of them in the past week. If you like this video, hit like. If you really like it, share it around. And if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. We're going to be on here for 2 more minutes. I just thought I'd get the outro out of the way, so when the timer hits, I can just end the stream. Sadocha. That's not even clever. You're not even trying. Pizza Chew. See, we're not trying anymore. These are bad. Infinite is Shadow. Weak for him. What? I'm not even getting English anymore, guys. What the hell? What the hell? Mighty Choke? Mighty Choke? Okay, I like that one. You got me again. You got me again. I like that one. I want to see that. Oh god, Chris, you're fucking terrible for making this. Capcom versus Quickville Battle for Autism. We're getting all the good comments at the last minute. We're getting all the good ones now. Non-English chew. Non-English chew. I don't speak the English. We're going for another few seconds, so I hope you guys like this stream. I'll say that yet again. If you got anything you want to say it now, because the stream will be ending in like 30 seconds. Oh, the music's about to loop. I didn't think we'd reach the end of the music. Yeah, we reached the end of the music. God, I never thought that would happen. My name Jiffachu. My name Jiffachu. This is funny considering I have autism. Well, I'm glad I got you to laugh. Dead me Machu. Well, it's not okay, but Infinite versus Rookie. Okay, I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.